everybody, this is Hayden from Dumas Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk about what appears to be a very sensitive subject among some people, and that is supplementation into the effect of getting specific down to creatine. For some reason, creatine is one of the most controversial subjects whenever it comes to supplementation. And a lot of people who end up being against it or trying to debate about it don't really know what they're talking about. So I want to come with a video talking about the science behind it and what's good about it, sort of what's not, even though it's not really there, but just some scientific details about it and getting into it. So I got a little list of notes here, things I want to talk about. There's a couple myths, a couple common topics that people decide to bring up when they're going against it. The first thing is that creatine is only for either bodybuilders or athletes who get into sports where they require burst intensity, quick burst exercises, things like that. The reason that people say this is because, well, for one, they say it only helps you get bigger and through bigger by puffiness from water weight, which I'll get into later. And also that because it is exercise through ATP and your energy, that it only works to help you perform better in the first 10 seconds of high intensity exercise, and it doesn't help with aerobic exercises or long drawn out sports, things like that require cardio intensive things. And that is actually false. We will go into the water weight aspect of it and the reason why it does not only help in the first 10 seconds when supplemented, and why it is not bad to do that after a couple more myths. But the second one we're going to go into is that creatine damages your kidneys. Also false. While you can take too much, the biggest misconception with this is that creatine causes problems for you. Actually, one of the test factors for kidney problems is to see if you have what's called creatinine, which is the waste product from creatine. After you take it and it's exercised through your body, there's a waste product from it called creatinine, and that can cause kidney problems. However, it is not the main cause of it, and creatine itself does not cause it. It comes from not flushing the creatine properly and absorbing or intaking too much for what you need. And there's actually a study. If it's requested, I'll link to it in the description or an annotation or something. I'm not going to do it for the video just because it's more time for me. But anyways, there is a study of a man who had a single kidney and ingested 20 grams of creatine a day, which is actually about 4 times the recommended intake, and did this for, I don't even remember, I think it was like a month. He did 20 grams a day and actually had 0 kidney problems because he flushed it out properly. And so anyways, there's plenty of studies on that. You can go look that up. And I would also like to point out that of supplemented items that actually your body does produce, creatine is probably one of the most researched and proven things that you can supplement safely. And now we're going to get into the third one, which is that you gain nothing but water weight from creatine. Now, creatine does in turn make you retain water from your body instead of losing it, so that you can have more hydro energy while you're working out with your muscles. However, it does not make you technically continue to gain water weight. It makes you retain water up to about 5 pounds when you're continuously taking it. But that is not the only thing it does. Creatine itself, which we'll get into in a couple of how it does it in a couple more myths, gives you energy for your workouts continuously and allows you to have more energy put into your muscles, which will help you actually gain real muscle and not just water weight. The fourth point I'm going into, people talking about creatine isn't natural. In fact, some people even say it's a form of steroid, which is just outrageous. I'm not even going to argue with that. because there's no point. But saying creatine isn't natural. Actually, creatine itself is what is called a tripeptide compound or molecule that's made by your body in the form of creatine phosphate. Now, it is actually a natural compound that your body produces in small amounts. I believe depending on the person, you carry up to a certain amount of difference. I believe on average, for males, it's shortly above a gram, and for females, it's shortly below a gram. And you can obtain creatine from things like meat, like regular meats, fish, eggs, anything like that. But you won't gain a whole bunch of it. So to actually be able to benefit in a performance aspect from it, you do need to supplement it. Now, just want a disclaimer here, I'm not saying everybody should take creatine, it's going to work for you automatically. I'm not saying it is going to work. I'm just saying this is my opinion from all the proven research that it will help any type of athlete and any type of someone performing exercise in a higher intensity setting or in lower amounts in a lower intensity setting. It really depends on how much you put into your body versus how much you expend of it. But supplementation does increase production as far as the performance aspect. Now, next point I'm going to get into is people saying that creatine is dangerous. This sort of just goes back to saying that it damages the kidneys. But actually, like I said, with the studies shown and research that creatine is actually the safest or one of the safest nutrients that your body produces on its own that you can supplement to increase performance. It has been proven, basically, not 100% proven, but neither has anything else. It's all been done through human testing, testing on animals, things like that. But it's not 100% proven because that's not possible, because everyone is different. But it is considered one of the safest nutrients that you can supplement. And the final thing is that creatine doesn't help put in work overall. And that's just, in anything. And I want to go into what I was talking about back whenever I said that the body makes creatine phosphate as a compound. ATP is your main base energy source before carbohydrates and fats start getting burned to produce more energy. ATP, sorry, I'm going to get into a little bit of a science thing here, stands for adenosine triphosphate. If you look at, just in a basic logical sense, adenosine triphosphate and creatine phosphate is a tripeptide compound, and you make one of the systems that makes ATP is the Phosphagen system, which takes creatine phosphate and breaks it down into the 3 or triphosphates to create more ATP as you go. So, with what your body produces, yes, your ATP will expend in 10 seconds, and then it will use whatever creatine you have in your body to produce a little bit more ATP before you start getting into your other energies. So, if you supplement more creatine into your body, you will continue to use the Phosphagen system to make more ATP. Therefore, whenever your natural supply runs out, your supplemented supply will take over and continue to make more ATP, which will in turn give you more ATP energy before you start expending carbs and fats and other aspects of your body's nutrients, your macronutrients, to start creating energy. And the less of that you expend, the more you can put into muscle recovery to be able to gain more muscle, which is another reason that creatine does more than help you gain water weight. So, in conclusion, just going to go back and say, I'm not saying that it's perfectly okay for every single person to use, not saying it's going to work the same for everybody, and I'm not telling you, yes, definitely take it. I would most certainly say if you have any conditions or anything like that that might come in contact with it, I would talk to a physician or a registered dietitian, make sure it's okay. But any person who's perfectly healthy, no health history problems, anything like that, would be perfectly fine to take it. And in some form or fashion, it is going to help you in some way. And it is natural, it is made by the body, and it will help every type of athlete whether burst energy or aerobic, anything like that. And it is one of the safest and most researched nutrients in your body that you can supplement. So I'll end right there. Any questions you guys have about creatine itself or any other supplements that you've been looking at that you want to think about, leave it in the comments or PM. I'll try to get a video out on it. I may combine a couple into a video if it's a small supplement that there's not much to talk about. But again, I will only tell you the facts and the research stuff. I will not tell you if I have an opinion on whether you personally should take it or not, because I'm not a registered dietitian. But I do know, as far as the research aspect and the factual aspect, what I'm talking about. So like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to get to them in a video. Other than that, if you like the video, leave a comment with your opinion, subscribe, and keep an eye out for further videos. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.